Hello, I'm Clayton Birch, State Superintendent of Schools. Each and every month, we want to take one of our Education Connection videos and spotlight a superintendent. Last month was Stephen Watring from Preston County, and I'm so glad to introduce this month's selection. It's Superintendent Ryan Saxe of Cabell County Schools. Superintendent Saxe is not only a friend and a colleague, but he's one of the best leaders we have in this state. In a time when the pandemic hit, and a time when we're looking to the future of recovery, it's very, very important for the public to know that we have leaders like Mr. Saxe in our schools. So with that, I'd like to introduce Mr. Ryan Saxe.
Thank you, Superintendent.
Ryan, could you tell us a little bit and just give the audience a context of Cabell County Schools?
Sure. Well, we are very proud of what we have here in Cabell County. We're a district comprised of almost 12,000 students, close to 2,000 employees. And we're very, very kind of diverse in the geographical makeup, from the city of Huntington to the most rural parts of our county. We really have a broad spectrum of families and of students that we're quite proud of.
You know, you, like any other leader across the state, had to really dig in and make some quick decisions and some very important decisions during the pandemic. Could you reflect us a little bit about what it was like back March 13th and coming back into school this school year?
Well, you know, in reflecting upon how much we've accomplished over the past year, it's really quite astounding to see where we came from on March 13th to where we've arrived at, you know, as late as today. Here in Cabell County, our employees were so responsive to the needs of our students and our community, and making that pivot to online virtual instruction to blended instruction in the beginning of the fall this year. And then, of course, you know, sort of that on-off again as we started looking at the metrics of when we needed to scale up or scale back to where we are today, where we are in 5 days of instruction full-time every single day, and it almost feels like we haven't missed a beat. You know, and so I think that as we look toward the future, and the new normal, part of our task is this post-pandemic response to making sure that we are providing a robust learning opportunity for every single Cabell County child, and that we are preparing them with the skills necessary for them to be successful in a post-pandemic world also.
And you know, as we look to coming back in August, we know as a state about 50,000 children did not come back into the school buildings. And so many of us are looking at not only learning loss that may have occurred, but also the struggles those children might have faced for social and emotional development. So if you don't mind, could we talk about both your approach to learning, but also your approach to that one caring adult that's going to look out for each and every one of these children?
We sort of had a mantra in Cabell County, and that was from the boardroom to the classroom. We are focused on what is best for students. And so as we move forward and we realize that there are those social emotional aspects that children may have not had the supports necessary during the pandemic, even though we tried everything we could think of, from home visits to wellness checks, the food service drop-off points to check how students are doing. We know that as we move forward, we're going to have a greater capacity around wraparound services for students. We've increased the number of social workers in Cabell County. We have a clinical psychologist. We have communities and schools, which is absolutely fabulous, you know, in trying to make sure that we're putting the right resources in the hands of the families and the children that need it most.
You know, we've stressed to children this entire time, you cannot allow the pandemic to put your future on hold. And we're here in this wonderful facility today filming. Cabell County will have a new Career Technical Education Center. And I know that you have placed a lot of emphasis on not only college ready, but really career ready. You have a robust advanced education for those that want to go off to college. You have a lot of emphasis placed on career readiness. And I definitely want to focus on, you also have some wonderful JROTC programs for military preparedness. Can you talk a little bit about this new facility and looking forward to college or career ready?
You are sitting in what used to be the old Sears building at the Huntington Mall. This is a 260,000 square foot facility that will be transformed over the next 12 to 16 months into a state-of-the-art advanced career and technology center for Cabell County students. And we are really, really excited about this opportunity because this is putting career and technical education front and center in the center of Cabell County, where all of the hub of action is. And so we are very, very excited about what the future holds in expanding CTE opportunities for students as well as our adult learners, so that as the workforce shifts, that Cabell County Schools is going to be responsive to the needs of what the developing workforce is going to be, and that training is going to be right here in this building.
You know, we've talked about teachers, we've talked about students. Could you reflect a little bit about the community? I know that community engagement is really, really important to you as a superintendent. It's important to your school systems. And it seems like throughout this entire pandemic, you've had just a ton of community support and engagement. So could you reflect a little bit and talk a little bit about that important role family engagement plays?
Yeah, well, I can first let me say that the Cabell County community has been tremendously supportive of public education and of our school district. As we just talked about, the community, the citizens of Cabell County passed the largest school bond in the state's history. We've continued to pass excess levies, which fund educational programs. But as we shift in this post-pandemic world, I think we've also seen a need to shift in our mindset of how we engage families and community into the system and the process of learning for our students. And if you think about it, federal programming always required parent engagement. And there were always activities, and I think that the definition at that time was like, if you can get the parents to come to a workshop at school, then you have parent engagement. And we now know that that's not really the case, because there's all sorts of different obstacles into the getting families into the school door sometimes. And so we have to really look at non-traditional ways that we can engage families and parents. And that's really the next chapter for us as well, is trying to find ways to innovate, to engage families and parents with the learning of their child, but also into helping make decisions for the school district as well. And so in the coming months, that's going to be a new goal for us, is to be able to really improve the quality of our family and parent engagement across the whole school district.
As we close this session, Ryan, you're one of 55 county superintendents. Each and every one of you has a unique needs. You have a school system that you're looking out for, promoting public education. You're looking to the future of K-12 in the state of West Virginia. What do you think are the most important things you think you'll be focusing on the next 5 years?
Well, I will tell you that I'm the kind of person that when there's resistance, I don't push back. I don't brace myself. I lean into it. And I think that as we look toward the future, we have to lean into the challenges that we know are coming, but we have to lean in with optimism, creativity, thinking outside the box. We have to be creative in how we're meeting the needs of our families, our students, and our community as public school districts. And I think it presents a very, very unique opportunity for us to move forward and to really improve the quality of our entire state of West Virginia.
Ryan, thank you so much. And on behalf of the State Board of Education, Department of Education, our spotlight on superintendents, Mr. Ryan Saxe, Superintendent of Cabell County, we thank him for his time. We look forward to what we'll see out of you and your school system in the future.